After generating millions of YouTube views, analyzing thousands of real YouTube channels, and helping directly hundreds of real people to grow on this platform, I figured it was time to finally make this video. Howdy everyone, Nate here. It is time to talk about what makes YouTube tick. And we're starting now. You see, just like the experts benefit from relearning the fundamentals of their sport or their craft, I figured it was time to really explain how this platform works for you and I as YouTube creators. With our starting point being when we upload a video to YouTube. The first thing YouTube does is it begins to scan that video, and what it's looking for is understanding the words, the visuals, the packaging, and previous channel viewership for that piece of content. This is what many people call the metadata of a YouTube video. It is such that when you create a piece of content and you put it on the YouTube platform, YouTube does their initial scan of what is contained within that video in order to create what I'm calling the first level video definition, where the platform is essentially saying this that has been uploaded is probably a green video. Now, when we use the term green video or blue video or yellow video, it's just a simplified way to understand that videos are categorized by the YouTube platform according to which viewers they think will enjoy that video. And that's important to understand because the next step after this data scan here is they begin testing it with real world viewers, which brings us to our next stage. There are three that I'm going to include in this video: short sessions, long form sessions, and search sessions. By the way, everyone who is part of the Radical Creators group just got all of these slides that I'm about to show you sent to their email. If you would like them, you can also join the group. It is totally free, and I have a link in the description and the pinned comment. Starting with YouTube Shorts, we're going to insert our video here. I apologize that it's sideways. Everybody, you can turn your head while you're reading video right here and get the same effect. Because at this point, what YouTube is doing is they're saying the moment that viewer gets onto the platform and they start watching videos, your video is considered as an option to show that viewer. And in this case, YouTube has also pre-classified this viewer type into a green viewer rather than a blue viewer. So what YouTube is doing is essentially saying, we think this is a green video. Now we're gonna put this green video in front of a green viewer. And then based on the actions of this green viewer, when they watch your video, they will then decide to show other videos. And because the YouTube Shorts algorithm is constantly testing what this green viewer is going to enjoy next, they might show them a pink short, a blue short, and then maybe another green short just to see what that person is enjoying next. And from there, that will happen again and again and again. Because you see, what YouTube is doing here is they're essentially saying, I'm going to scan this YouTube short that you, the creator, uploaded for a few things based on the reaction from a viewer. And remember, this is the second scan after they've done that initial data scan with real world results. What the YouTube Shorts algorithm is trying to measure here is roughly viewer satisfaction. For this green viewer, how are they reacting to this green video? And while the real algorithm is much more like a neural network with multiple factors that is considering at any given time, I've distilled it down into the three top things that measure the satisfaction for this viewer. One being the rough view percentage that viewer watches of your video. Two being past or future views. If they watched previous videos that were green videos or previous videos from your channel, the algorithm is more likely to say, we think they're going to enjoy another green video in the future. And third, what actions this viewer takes while they are consuming that video. Things like rewatching portions of it, or liking it, or adding a comment to the video. In human language, the algorithm is saying, yeah, we think this is a green video, and this is probably a good video based on the reaction of this viewer. And this same pattern scales on multiples of millions and billions of viewers, depending on how many views your video gets. Now, there's another development that has occurred more recently, which is what led me to talk about YouTube Shorts first here. And that's what I'm calling a Shorts bridge, where we essentially get this behavior. Let's say that this viewer consumes this YouTube short and they say, I really like this YouTube short. Now I'm going to see what else is on this channel. And that is where hopefully either they watch another YouTube short or they watch a long form on your same channel. And I've been observing YouTube bridging the gap between shorts sessions and long form sessions, which I'm going to get to here in a moment, more and more. And this is important because what this does is it allows for greater opportunity for us as creators. However, it's not always easy for creators like you and I to take advantage of this shorts bridge as often as we would like to. Because the more often we take advantage of this shorts bridge leading from one short to another short or from a short to long form videos on your channel that you own, the better. Now, the solution to that is actually quite good and quite simple, thankfully. I spoke with Nexus Clips, who makes selecting clips of your other pieces of content much easier. You see, what it does is it uses AI to predict which parts of the pieces of content you've already published are most likely to spread further in the Shorts sessions. And it's because of this, I've been recommending to my clients that we begin to utilize YouTube Shorts more often in order to provide those more opportunities for a Shorts bridge to even happen. So much so that recently I made an entire video about what I was observing and the effectiveness of YouTube Shorts. So go ahead and try Nexus Clips using the link below. Now we need to talk about a long form viewing session. Long form is slightly different than a short form session in both training the algorithm and putting the right videos in front of viewers. For one key reason, when a viewer begins a long form viewing session, they are presented with choices. When someone gets onto the YouTube platform and they're not going directly to YouTube Shorts, they are presented with a variety of videos that could be a choice for them to watch next. And YouTube, being ever vigilant and always trying to understand their viewers better, they're never going to just show green videos to a green viewer. They're more likely to, because if this viewer has a long history of consuming certain types of videos, they're more likely to show those similar types of videos to that viewer. However, they never want the viewing experience on the YouTube platform to become stagnant, which means they will always be showing purple videos or blue videos or other types of videos every time a viewer starts a session. This is why a start of a session where the choice is placed before them is different than a continuation of a session. Also, I saw it was somewhere, somebody had written these here, the boop like button, boop the like button. If this video is being helpful and eye-opening to you thus far, you know what to do. Phase 1 of a long-form session is the start of the session. What happens in phase 2? This is where we get a session continued. Let's put the boop video here. And again, we insert a viewer right here. First of all, what YouTube is doing is they're doing something very similar to what they did with YouTube Shorts. In fact, we can practically say the same thing is occurring with a long-form scan as a short-form scan, just slightly different metrics. They're measuring viewer satisfaction with this video with these same three things: view percentage, past and future views for this viewer on your channel especially, and the actions that this viewer takes, meaning do they choose to comment or like the video. And they're also giving it a continually updated rating every time they show it to another viewer. This is a green video and this is probably a good video or not a good video. But the other thing YouTube is doing here is attempting to predict what video that viewer would enjoy watching next, and they're doing it in two areas. What we saw here with the start session is essentially what could be called the homepage algorithm. And what we're seeing here is essentially what can be called the suggested algorithm. Because what they're reading is the topic of the video to decide, hey, do we show a blue video next, a yellow video? Or they're reading the viewer themselves and saying, what previous videos did this viewer enjoy? And maybe we're going to show them one of those. In fact, that same behavior will occur if the viewer decides to go back to the homepage. They may be shown additional adjacent videos to this video that they just watched. Which brings us to the third major way that YouTube works here: a YouTube search session, or the YouTube search algorithm. You see, when a viewer enters YouTube and they begin to search for something, they will begin with their query, what they are looking for specifically, or a question they're looking to answer. Now, based on the results of that query, they might show a long form video or a couple of short form videos, etc. on down the page. Now again, similar to these other scans, when you uploaded a video to the platform, YouTube scanned all the metadata and attempted to classify what that video was for. A search session is again another place that they're attempting to clarify who that video is for by saying, does this video answer a specific query for a specific type of viewer? So in a distilled way, they're looking for ranking on these factors. Number 1, relevance. How relevant to the query is this video? If a viewer searches the query, your video shows up, and the viewer chooses not to view it, in fact, they go down further and they watch a different video, your video is more likely to be bumped further down the search. Second factor is previous fit. Did your video fit other viewers' similar queries? Did they watch it and seem satisfied? And third is how recent your video was uploaded. I have observed, especially in the early stages after a video is uploaded, one that seems to be very targeted at search. They are more likely to give it a chance in the early stages of its life on the platform. Now, that's not across the board. In fact, we've all had experiences of a video surfacing in search later on, but it's most of the time. The fourth factor the search algorithm is looking for is the viewer history. If this is a green viewer, they've watched other videos that seemed similar to what their query searching for, they are more likely to surface similar videos. This also seems to take into account the previous channel viewership of that viewer, with the result of this search session being a definition. This video is probably the best fit based on these factors. Now, there's a major factor to be talking about in all three of these session types that I've talked about, as well as YouTube as a platform. In fact, this video would be incomplete if we didn't talk about the three major goals being accomplished with the YouTube platform. The YouTube platform recognizes that they have three groups of people to keep happy: the creators, the viewers, and the advertisers, the people that pay YouTube's bills. So when a creator like you or I produces a piece of content, that video gets uploaded to the platform and it gets put in front of a viewer. The goal of the creator is to get their piece of content in front of as many viewers as possible, but also the right viewers that they're trying to attract. The viewer's main goal is to have an enjoyable experience on the platform, which means they want to be shown satisfying videos. And the advertiser's main goal is to have their placement placed next to a video that is satisfying for the viewer, that also is targeting the right type of viewer. Such that an ideal scenario for the YouTube platform, and coincidentally all three of these groups, is for a creator to create a satisfying viewer, the viewer to enjoy that video, the advertiser to place a placement next to that right video, but also for that viewer to watch another video, and on and on. This is this golden place that for the creator I call channel momentum, or for the viewer I call chain viewership, which leads us to the actions to be taken as a result of this. No matter what color of videos you're producing on your channel, first, you're going to want to make sure that they are clearly green, clearly pink, clearly blue, because what that does for you as a creator is it makes it easier for a viewer to find your video satisfying, and for the platform to say this is easier to scan and match with the right audience. Second, an emphasis on repeat views and viewership from you as the creator of the content means that you are doing your part in accomplishing the trifecta of goals that the YouTube platform has, so that not only do your viewers enjoy your videos, but the YouTube platform itself loves you. Thirdly, the bonus is to take advantage of that Shorts bridge, which Nexus Clips has made it really simple for you to do by allowing you to take content you already made and give them another chance at spreading. And next, I didn't tell you this, but this video is part of a series which I am producing as we speak. So go ahead and watch this video next.